Hi everyone, Jonas here for Thomann synthesizers. In today's video I would like to talk about drums, or more specifically about bringing drums into a bigger picture. Sometimes I'm comparing music creation to cooking because I think in music you need some flavor palettes and spices as well, such as metal, noise, wood, perhaps something light, something dark. And I would like to bring this spectrum with drums into a bigger context inside tracks. I think those flavors come with a specific emotion. For example, when you have metal, really hard-hitting metal can be really aggressive, and for example, a slight noise floor can be kind of soft like a feather. So if you combine some of those flavors, I think it makes a bigger picture, a nicer contrast and context. Of course, you can just use something within one section, but I think this is more kind of a jam character. So let's use some more flavors and let's bring them into a bigger picture with one of my tracks in my Ableton project. And first up, I am only going to play the drums of the track. So let's analyze this a little bit, what I am talking about and what I think is missing and why I would do certain things. So let's start with the kick. The kick is just there without a lot of character, just so that it's more like going with the track for the main groove, and it has a little bit of mid-range to cut nicely through afterwards. Then we have something like a little push hi-hat for the drive. And this one is only noise, to be kind of light as a feather, just here to give it a little bit of accent, because the main hi-hat is kind of harsh, almost metallic, kind of a little bit organic, but mostly metallic. So if I combine those, then I have like the hard-hitting metallic transient in combination with a lighter soft noise. And next one in the, let's say, hi-hat section is the UK garage kind of shuffle. Because I want to match this to the, let's say, main metallic hi-hat, I gave it a same character. Overall, of course, I want different drum sections to sound different in this project to make a bigger picture of contrast. What I'm speaking about up next is, I called it Weird Drive. This one is for me more wooden than the other ones, so I can emphasize this kind of groove with a different sound of element. This noise right now is a kind of, let's say, a harsh one and a more aggressive one, because it has a different purpose, as it's like a kind of transition into the first beat again. Next up, let's put some emotions into the track, and for this one I'm going to send some MIDI notes to my Deckard stream and put it back into the project. So I I think the track overall is pretty nice so far, but I want to add kind of a snare or a clap for the groove on the 2 and the 4, and or something in between maybe. And the overall impression of the track is kind of atmospheric, moody, melancholic, dreamy, as the snare or a clap on the 2 and 4 is standing out the most, I think, personal, because it's so obvious. So I want to put a lot of character and effort, especially on the clap. And I think also you have to take into account how the overall mood of the track is. I think it would be too chilled and too vibey, and if I would use a kind of organic snare or a clap now, here I have 2 different wood snares or rims. I mean, it's working and you can feel it definitely, but I think for me it's not 100% match, so I definitely want to try something in the metallic section. For this one I'm going to use the Russian heavyweight Pulsar by Thomann. And in my opinion there is something really special about this machine, because it's such a different sound character, I would say. If you know it, you kind of recognize it because it has a lot of crunch, a lot of aggressiveness in a way, but I like it a lot. So you are able to create really smooth sounds as well, but this time I'm going to use it for the characterful, noisy, metallic stuff. But we are going to focus on the snare and hi-hat voice, because I like some elements of both, so I want to combine this. I like the noise generator of the snare drum a lot, but the attack and, let's say, clicking on the hi-hat a little bit more, because it has slightly more noise character, and I want to emphasize this together for the track. So this is the snare. So I think the noise is pretty soft, and I want to use the noise as the release of the sound. And this is the hi-hat. And I think this is really crunchy, metallic, aggressive. So the right amount of contrast we could use for the track. Now let's hear the version I would prefer in combination with the drums we recorded of the Pulsar. I think one special, let's say, flavor or element is noise, because you can bring it into or turn it into so many different sections and emotions and purposes actually as well, because you can make it really plucky and short for snares or shakers, but you can also use it, and what I really enjoy using it for, as a filler. So you can connect the dots, let's say, between different drum elements with noise. And also in each different flavor, you can create different emotions, like a harder noise, like a softer noise. So let's check it out. interesting approach I'm currently using from time to time, which is kind of fun, but you have to be really careful because I created my own, let's say, noise groove plates with different materials on the surface on the old plate. And by using an old needle for the turntable, so please don't use a new one because you would damage it, but this one was damaged anyway, so I used it for this purpose. And you can create really interesting rhythms. I like using old machines actually to use their noise floor and then put it into my FX into the modular case. And overall, use whatever it feels right to you and makes it sound interesting. Might sound a bit like a cliche, but just sample your own things, your own metal, your own wood, and even perhaps use things as drums. Alright, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and that it was informative for some of you about my approach on drums and everything in between. So if you have any ideas, thoughts and comments you would like to share, then please put it in the comment section down below and we will get back to you. So thanks again and see you next time.